Good afternoon. It's Matt's Serenity Haven Homestead. This is Finnegan. I hypnotized him. He's not dead. Give him a second, he'll roll off and he'll spring back to life. He was being a mean rooster to everybody. So I got him, laid him down on his back, rubbed his chest, and it actually kind of puts him in a hypnotic trance. But he will give him a little bit of assistance and we'll watch him spring back to life just like that. Gives all the birds a few minutes of peace when you do that to a chicken. It's easily done. It does not hurt them any at all. But anyway, there's Miss Carl. She's the last of the originals. I came in with my cultivator and hoe and dug up some of this so that way they can scratch through it because it was getting to be hard packed. I need to come in with a little tiller cultivator and dig it all up and transport out a bunch of this, because this stuff is excellent garden soil. But anyway, I just want to get a quick video of Finnegan being hypnotized. He was especially picking on foghorn right there. You can see in the back of his comb where he's had some blood spots and down the back of his neck. But at least gives him a reprieve, because Finnegan's literally has kept him trapped up inside the coop. And then when they go in at night, he runs him out. So hopefully it'll give foghorn a little bit of reprieve. But while we're out here, let's do a quick video of the garden as my hoe falls over. Unfortunately, I probably have rodents in my around the coop and garden area, unfortunately. But anyway, we have a bunch of Roma tomatoes. I'm trying to get this to zoom out some, and it won't. Anyway, a lot of small Roma tomatoes, sweet banana peppers, got some corn. And like I've said in the past videos, this is the first time I've taken any of my vining crops vertical other than my cucumbers. And some of these pumpkins are just beginning. Now, the flowers like this are the male flowers. The ones that are close in are the female flowers that produce the fruit. Speaking of fruit, right there is a very, if I can get the focus, tiny one that's just beginning. There's another one here. And this is a wild pumpkin vine. Those, I'm honestly not sure what they are. But then I've got a zucchini or squash here, loofah, and there I've got broccoli, some cabbage, more broccoli, and then the okra on the end. But they're getting eaten up by something. And out of 2 packs of corn for this space and this space, only those 2 have come up. Had a whole thing of sorghum I planted, not even one. And then over here, every time I find little plants coming out of the juncture between the leaf and the stem, like right here, those are kind of like suckers, and you don't want those on your tomato plants because it'll literally go off into a whole nother stem. But this plant is producing limbs going off everywhere. It's like this right here is just trying to be another stem, but I've got this being a spaghetti squash, and that one is about the size of about a softball and a half. Then I've got smaller ones growing on it, like there. Trying not to get you all dizzy. Another small one there and there. Got about a dozen on it. And coming through, doing a little bit of weeding while I'm doing this. Got some cucumbers. Got a smaller pickling. I watered earlier today before it got hot, and didn't know that it was gonna rain again tonight. But it hadn't rained in about a week, and when it did rain, it didn't do a whole lot except do a quick downpour, which didn't soak into the soil. I'd rather want to have an inch of rain every 2 hours or more than an inch of rain in 15 minutes. Because the longer it has to soak in, the better off the plants do. I've got 2 stringer vines coming off. I'm going to put another pole probably here and one on the opposite side. I'm going to see if I can make like a little arch or something. That way they can climb up and do that. But like I said, I've got okra over here. I've got that one there. Looks like we're beginning to get a bud on it, which is good. Another one there. As I accidentally knocked over my compost bin. There's the Miss Spring. Let's get a good look in on Miss Betty. Say hi, Betty. Miss Betty is very protective of the 11 chicken eggs I have under her. But out of good habit, if she senses one's gone bad, will either break it in here or knock it out. And I don't know if you can see it down there or not. There's one down there that she tossed out. And those will, if you let them pop, there's a couple of the eggs. They will literally pop like not quite like a firecracker, but basically like a balloon under pressure. And these girls, I've got the cable hooked up, and the way I do it is I'll stand facing it and then pull it. If I can get this out without the lid being up, which I can't, because then I was going to demonstrate how I move it. But I just stand facing it with the cable going behind me and then pull it on around. But they do love jumping up here to say hi to everybody. Say hi. Back down in there. And no, I don't hurt them when I do this. It's just guiding them with a free hand. But got the cable loose. Untwist it. And I lower it down right about my belt level, a little bit lower. We're just going to slowly move it. Because they have a tendency to be a little bit on the stupid side. And as it's being moved, they'll stay away from this end and then get caught up underneath that end. But then as we get to new grass, I'll move up. And that is that. I've had it there on that section for about 2.5 days, maybe. I was on this section, honestly, too long. You can see where they had a soft spot. They dug a little hole. But we'll move it up that way another 2 more times over the next week. Then rotate it to the rectangle like that. And then bring it back and start it all over again. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Those branches there, one of these days I'm actually gonna break down and trim off all the little stuff to make kindling out of. And the bigger pieces I'll either make something with or cut them up and put them in a box, and then we'll make apple butter. That amount of small sticks will be just about right for about half a day's worth burn on cooking the apple butter. It won't make big coals, but it'll make enough, and then we use some of the oddball broken pieces I can't use for woodworking in on it also, and go from there. These willow pieces have been cut down for since about February, March, but you can see where they've soaked up water and tried to grow. Then deer come through and trim them down. And speaking about deer, there's where they decide to leave a little bit as they're browsing. But it'll fertilize the yard, fertilize the garden. We don't have a huge house and homestead farm area, but we produce quite a bit. Now over here, we have this mint, which came from my aunt's house, and until she passed away, every bit that I brought here would not grow at all. Hey, we finally got some basil coming up. Woo! It's only been planted there for about 3 months, or 2 months at least. But this sage, every fall, I cut it back. And when I say I cut it back, I literally hack it back to where it's like almost 1/10 of the size it is now. There's some of the taller pieces that I had, but it'll keep on growing, and all this is in one, get the leaf out of the way, one cinder block cell. Just like that mint's in one cinder block cell, and that mint's in one. But in here we got garlic, tomatoes I have not done anything to and I need to, and cucumbers. Then we have over there on the back side we have 3 cabbage plants that are not doing a thing, and I do mean not doing a thing. But looks like this is peppermint, I do believe. Looks like it's about ready to start flowering and budding and all that, which I'll get that and I'll split it apart and go from there. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Don't be strangers. Leave a comment. Good, bad, and different. I know I'm not the greatest gardener in the world, but I implore everybody to at least grow something. Love y'all. Take care. God bless.